Hello guys! So welcome sa ating pang 7th episode ng ating stock review ngayong 2026. So today, dahil nga marami ang request na naman ng mga stock review. So sobrang dami guys, no. Thank you kasi pinagkakatiwalaan nyo pa rin ako na mag-review ng mga stocks dito sa ating bansa. So ang bibigyan natin ng focus today ay ang CNVRG or Converge. So marami nagre-request na bigyan natin ito ng focus. Hindi ko alam kung bakit anong meron, no? And sige, ito yung una natin gagawin. Re-reviewin natin ito ng mas malinaw. Re-reviewin natin ito ng mas maiintindihan ng karamihan. So before we start na gawin ito, meron nga akong research process na 3 lagi na sinusunod para ma-review ito ng tama. So ang ginawa ko, instead na palipat-lipat ako sa tab, ginag-create na lamang ako ng slides para mas maiintindihan natin. Okay? Now, disclaimer na itong kumpanya na pinapareview nyo sa akin ay meron din akong ownership. So today sa aking call financial account, itong Converge, meron akong capital gains na 64.29% and dividend income na sa 5.64% lamang. So in total, meron akong returns na nasa halos 70% na dito sa Converge as of the moment. Hindi ibig sabihin na mayroon akong ownership ay magiging bias tayo sa pagre-review. So katulad ng lagi natin sinasabi, magiging balance tayo na approach para mas maintindihan ng karamihan ito, no? Okay guys, so nandito na yung ating ginawang slides. So please bear with me kasi sobrang hirap gumawa din ng slides na kagaya nito and hopefully ma-appreciate nyo ito. Converge ICT, the digital highway from infrastructure build out to compounding cash generation. So ito yung ating title na lang, no? Natutunan mo dito kung paano, ano yung moat ng meron ng kumpanya, ano yung growth driver, risk factors, and also paano tayo magre-research using fundamentals. Now, next slides. So why does the internet now feel like basic utility? Sa digital information age natin, di ba? Yung connectivity ay talagang essential na ito sa atin sa pang-araw-araw natin na pamumuhay, di ba? Pagkagising natin, minsan ang una pa nga natin tinitignan ay cellphone natin. May mga nag-comments na ba? May mga in-upload na ba tayo mga videos, 'di ba? So, yun ang mga tinitingnan natin. So, kumbaga yung connectivity ay talagang pangunahing ginagawa natin sa pang-araw-araw. Okay? If connectivity is essential like power and water, who earns durable returns from providing it? Sino? Syempre, the owners of the digital highways. Sino yan? So, dito sa ating bansa, marami na rin mga platforms, no, na pwede natin gamitin or mga companies, for example Globe, PLDT, dito, and also itong Converge, and marami pang iba. Okay? So sila yung nagbe-benefits ng factor na ito. Okay, next slide. So Pure Fiber subscription essential infrastructure. Ito yung company overview natin sa kumpanya. So meron siyang 100% pure end-to-end fiber network, itong Converge. So unlike legacy hybrids, Converge transmit data using light, not electricity, resulting in superior speed, lower latency, and consistent stability. So ano nga ba yung mga pinagkukunan ng revenue nitong company? Number 1 is residential, yung FiberX nila. So ito yung mass market broadband providing high volume, recurring monthly revenue from households. Okay? So usually na andito yung malaking pinagkukunan nila ng revenue nasa residential. And during sa pagre-review natin dito from the past, meron din itong mga bagong plan na inintroduce sa Pilipinas. For example, yung Surf to Sawa nila and marami pang iba na prepaid fiber naman na tinatawag nila. Okay? Number 2 is meron silang SMA, yung FlexBiz. Para naman ito sa mga small businesses na kailangan ng mas mabilis na internet kaysa doon sa household net natin. Okay? Another is yung kanilang enterprise, direct internet access for large corporations. Hindi natin sinama pa yung ibang mga pinagkukunan niya. Mag-focus lamang tayo dito sa kanilang fiber kasi ito yung may malaking pinagkukunan nila, fiber backbone. Once kasi na mabuild ito, yung marginal cost ay sobrang liit na lamang. Okay? Creating high operating leverage. Next slide. So, this is the performance of Converge over the years, no? So, Converge has demonstrated exceptional top-line expansion, scaling from 15 billion noong 2020 to 40 billion noong 2024 in just 4 years, outpacing traditional telco growth rate through aggressive fiber rollout. So, over the past 4 years, mayroon itong total growth na 160% in terms of the revenue. And ang kanilang year-over-year growth from 2023 to 2024, that's around 15% halos yung kanilang nilago. Okay? So wala pa yung 2015 kasi wala pa yung annual report nila. Okay? So abangan natin yung kanilang report soon. Now, pinapakita lamang sa atin dito kung gaano kalaki yung demand pagdating sa talagang sustainable connectivity. Next slide. Profitability at scale also, no? Unlike the legacy telcos kasi, yung burden kasi by copper, yung pag-maintain nun ay sobrang malaki sa capex. Converge pure fiber infrastructure deliver superior margin profiles. Pero you have to understand na hindi lamang si Converge yung gumagawa nito. Yung iba pang telco ay siyempre nagka-transition din sa mabilis para hindi din siyempre maiwanan ng competitors katulad nito, no? Now, if we are going to focus on their profitability metrics, yung gross margin ng kumpanya nasa 64.3%. So anong ibig sabihin nito? And so sobrang efficient nito, kaya niyang i-maintain ng mas mababa yung cost nila because of fiber, no? And if we are going to compare to copper, mas mahal ito, no, to maintain. Okay? Number 2 is operating margin. So yung operating margin nila ay nasa 37%. Kanilang operating margin today, mas mataas ng 12% yung kanilang operating margin compared to the legacy telco na competitors nito. The net profit margin ay nasa greater than 26%. This is an exceptional conversion of revenue to earnings. This is the bottom line, no? Now, hindi lamang doon natatapos yung performance profitability ng kumpanya. If we are going to focus on return on equity, nasa 20.49 ito, it indicates efficient use of shareholders' capital to generate profits. Another is yung kanilang return on invested capital, more than 10% pa rin ito. Okay, that's an exceptional, and yung average WACC nga lang ay nasa 9 to 10%. Okay? So dito, it confirmed that nakakapag-create sila ng value creation. At itong performance ng kumpanya today. So bakit ito napaka-importante para sa atin ng mga investors? Because many traditional telco kasi nag-ooperate globally struggle to sustain operating margin above a 25%, no? Due to the legacy infrastructure cost. So dahil doon, yung Converge numbers reflect structural superiority. Okay, this is the advantage also today ng kumpanya. Now, in terms of financial inflection, cash flow inflection also, from build out to harvest. Okay? So, from the past, noong 2020 to 2022, ito yung tinatawag natin na investment phase. Nag-invest sila sa CapEx because gusto nila ng aggressive infrastructure rollout. So, over the past 3 years pala, ganito yung CapEx na nilalaan nila. Pamamagitan nito, nagbo-burn sila ng malaking cash. Okay, makita natin dito, high upfront cash burn. Okay? So makita mo naman sa pag-review natin dito from the past noong 2020, talagang sobrang negative ng kanilang free cash flow. Nang naandun na tayo sa harvest phase naman noong 2023 to present, makikita natin ang kanilang capex intensity ay nag-normalize. Yung kanilang operating leverage kicks in na, pumapasok na. Yung also yung kanilang cash generation accelerate. Dahil dati syempre kakaumpisa pa lamang ng company na pumasok sa Luzon, no? Syempre kailangan nila na mag-capex ng malaki para maka-attract ng mas maraming customers. And today, nagfo-focus na sila outside Metro Manila. Yung mga less privileged na mahihina yung connectivity, doon na ang focus nila today. Okay, that's the advantage also ng kumpanya. Okay, so yung mga ibang company, kung gusto mong tignan yung mga strategy nila, so comment down below kung anong mga stocks yung gusto mong i-review. Noong 2023, ang kanilang free cash flow lang ay nasa 8.7 billion. So lumalaki na ang kanilang free cash flow. And you have to remember, ang free cash flow ay may 5 kaparaanan para gamitin ito. Pwede sila magbigay ng dividendo. Last year, nakapagbigay sila ng dividendo. Hopefully, this year ay magbibigay sila ulit ng dividendo. And hopefully, mas mataas pa doon sa kanilang naibigay last year kasi nga nag-normalize na kanilang capex. Another is, pwede nilang itong i-improve sa business. Okay? Pwede pa itong ipang capex ulit. Another is, pwede pa nila itong pangbayad na kanilang utang. Okay? Another is, pwede sila mag-acquire ng mga new businesses. And last, ay pwede nila itong i-reinvest sa kanilang sarili, sa mga owners mismo. Okay? And you have to remember, sa sariling buhay natin, sa personal life natin, ang ibig sabihin ng free cash flow, ito yung natitira nating savings after natin makuha ang ating salary. Yung savings, ito ang free cash flow sa business. Okay? Next slide. Now, this is the economic moat analysis natin sa kumpanya. So, yung moat kasi na Converge ay talaga nagdi-depends today. Okay, number 1 is scale economies. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Yung scale economies, yung Converge kasi ay mayroong high fixed cost to build, okay? But near zero marginal cost to address or to add user. Kapag lumalaki, no, yung customers o dumadami yung customers, cost per user drop dramatically. Expanding margin while competitors struggle to catch up. Sa pag-roll out nila sa outside Manila, sa mga less privileged na mahina connectivity, 'di ba? Mas lumalaki pa ang kanilang sakop. Okay? So, ito yung kailangan din gawin ng mga telco today. Okay? Na iba pang telco, hindi lang Converge, no? Now, yun nga, sa pagpasok ng mga issues today, no, yung mga issues about sa yung konektadong Pinoy and also yung mga paparating pa mga telco company na papasok daw sa Pilipinas, no? Okay? So that's also a merong negative impact sa company kasi yung kanilang margin ay magdidecrease siyang kapag merong marami na competitors. Aside from that, dahil nga sila ay naka-scale na rin, no? At paunti-unting pumapasok talaga nationwide na ay mas maganda na talaga nauumpisa na nila mas mabilis. Nauumpisa na mas mabilis yung ganitong pag-roll out nila outside Metro Manila. Okay? Kasi habang magbe-build pa lamang yung mga papasok na telco, meron na sila na build agad. Okay? Another is counter positioning. Ibig sabihin kasi, may mga business na telco na ang ginagamit pa rin talaga ay copper. So ibig sabihin mas malaki yung maintenance dyan and pwede din kasi sa fiber ay talagang maliit lamang. Pero you have to understand nga, hindi lamang yung Converge ang gumagamit nito today. Marami na rin, no, ang gumagamit yan. Okay? Another, competitive edge, pure fiber versus legacy infrastructure. Okay, so let's understand, no, the challenger, Converge ICT, 100% pure end-to-end fiber. Sa competitive edge, meron siyang modern architecture, speed rollout, and also superior economics. While dito naman sa traditional telcos, syempre yun nga, nasa hybrid yan, meron silang copper, may wireless, may fiber. So kilala niyo naman kung sino-sino sila, di ba? So naandyan yung hybrid complexity. Upgrade, drag also higher OPEX. Okay? So if you are going to focus on the financial of the other competitors, no, makikita mo yan kung gaano kalaki if you are going to compare to Converge. Okay? Now, next slide. Growth driver. Number 1 is geographic expansion. Ibig sabihin nito, yung target opportunity ito, yung mga underserved market sa babang part ng Luzon and also sa Visayas, no? Talaga nagfo-focus na sila dito para mas malaki pa yung potential or mga market, mas malaki pa yung market reach na maabot ng kumpanya. Okay? Another is enterprise acceleration. Okay? They use also cloud connectivity and managed services. Okay? So yung revenue quality nito, higher margin and predictable cash flow. Okay? Because nga, ang mga customer mo dyan ay mga business. Lagi yan magbabayad at magbabayad talaga. Ito is yung digital penetration, yung structural shift kasi ng mga Filipino lifestyle today, di ba? Karamihan na ay nagtatrabaho na rin, sa bahay lamang nakakapagtrabaho na sila, no? Online educators or educations, fintech and e-commerce, di ba? Transform internet from luxury to utility na talaga. Okay? Higher data consumption drives stability and upgrades also. Okay? Dahil dyan, nakapag-increase siya ng data consumption per household. Another, balance sheet and liquidity. Now, dito tayo mag-focus na, no? Kasi yung structure, look at leverage. So, if we're going to look at leverage, that is used strategically to fund long-lived infrastructure assets to generate recurring revenue. And now, if we're going to focus sa kanilang utang today, nasa 27.8 billion pesos ito. So primarily, long-term financing for fiber network expansion kasi yan. So dito makikita mo na mayroong note na natin na manageable ito. Why? If you are going to focus, cash available niya today ay nasa 14.96 or 15 billion pesos to. Strong liquidity, buffer cover short-term obligation. And if you are going to focus kanina, yung kanilang free cash flow ay lumalaki na rin. Okay? And ang kanyang debt to equity ratio ay nasa halos 46% lamang. Usually yung mga nasa sector ng telco, matataas talaga yan. Usually nasa 80 yung mga kanilang debt to equity ratio. Okay? Another is yung current ratio nito ay nasa 1.07 times. Sabihin yung kanilang short-term assets exceed short-term liabilities. Yung kanilang obligation are covered without stress. Yun lamang yun. So this is the leverage context natin. So this is the valuation natin. Fair value ko dito sa kumpanya ay nasa 20.81 pesos today. Okay? So sa kanilang share price niya, that's 31% upside potential pa rin. So pinaka-safe kung ikaw ay meron ng hawak dito, if kaya mo pang i-hold to 20 to 21 pesos, meron pa tong 31% upside potential. Now, ikaw naman, kung ikaw naman ay papasok pa lamang dito sa kumpanya, mas maganda na bumaba sana ito to 14.57 pesos para mas makakuha ka ng malaking upside potential sa Converge. No? Kung ikaw naman papasok talaga today at wala ka pang investment at gusto mong pumasok, tatanungin kita ko, kaya mo bang sikmurain yung 31% lamang na upside potential? It's up to you, no? This is not a recommendation, no? It's up to you pa rin. Okay? Now, punta tayo dito sa multiple valuation. Yung kanilang PE ratio ay nasa 10.8 times. Significantly compressed from historical 30 times na PE ratio because dati kasi na-hype ito na Converge. Okay? So it implies nga upside of 31% based on DCF model and comparison sa kanilang mga competitors. Next slide. Okay, so this is the scenario analysis natin. So ito yung pinaka-bull case scenario natin. What could go right? This is the 4K catalyst could drive substantial shareholders value creation. Number 1 is revenue and growth. This is the top line drivers. Yung continue nila na pag-penetrate sa under-reserved sa Visayas Mindanao na region, makapag-maintain ito also ng double-digit subscriber and additional funding also kapag 'di ba nagma-maintenance sila nagbabayad to stabilize and also makapagbigay also ng capex soon. Okay? Another is enterprise mix shift. So accelerating enterprise revenue shift from improving revenue quality, longer contracts, and also higher margins. Another is yung bottom line driver, the efficiency and cash flow. Ng kanilang operating leverage kasi, as a network density increase, okay, the cost to serve each additional subscriber drops, naturally expanding EBITDA margin. Kapag ganito nangyayari, nag-expand yung EBITDA margins. Another is free cash flow compounding. So sa pag-decline na kanilang capex, okay, tumataas naman yung operating cash flow. It surged the free cash flow. This funds the dividends, buybacks. So this is the potential of a company today. Next slide. This na the bear case scenario. So this is the key risks and challenges today. No? Number 1 is the competitive threats, market and execution. So number 1 is also naandyan, so dito nakapasok yung pricing pressure. You have to understand na marami papasok na telco, okay, habang dumadami yung competitors, nag-squeeze yung margin dyan. Another is execution and regulatory delays. Nandiyan yung mga permits, right of way issues, okay? Regulatory shift could slow infrastructure rollout in new regions. Okay? So this is the risk or challenges na kinakaharap din ng mga telco stocks, hindi lamang Converge. Another is external and macro, yung uncontrollable factors. Ano yun? Yung cyber security and reputation. Major data breaches kasi or prolonged outage could damage brand trust overnight, leading to subscriber na umalis. Tawad yung kanilang mga telco. Lumipat sa iba, in short. Another is macroeconomic pressure. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Kasi kapag ang mga consumers ay naapektuhan ng inflation, usually yung mga consumer magtatighten ng belt. So, kailangan magbawas ng dapat mga bawasan. Okay? Another is yung forex. Okay? Can increase cost of imported network equipment. Okay, yun. So, ito yung mga challenges din na kinakaharap ng company. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga mitigation? Okay? Para ma-address ito. Dito sa competitive threats, ang pinaka-mitigation na naisip ko is essential demand creates a floor for pricing. Long-term asset life justify patience through delays. Okay? Dito naman sa kabila, sa uncontrollable factors, kailangan i-improve yung cash generation to provide a buffer. No? Yung recurring revenue model is resilient to inflation. Okay? Yung probability na mangyari ito is dito nasa medium to high. Okay? And yung impact severity nito ay nasa medium naman pagdating sa uncontrollable factors. So ibig sabihin, kung ikaw ay mayroon ng investment sa Converge, you have to focus on market and execution or competitive threats. Okay? Dito ko mag-focus lagi. Now, next slide. Siguro may mga nagtatanong sa'yo, ano nga ba, Sir Renz, ang ibig sabihin ng recurring revenue? Okay? Ganito yan. I-explain natin ito nang mas maintindihan natin. Ganito to. Okay, so for example, ako ay pumasok sa Converge. Ako ay nag-subscribe sa kanila. So na-acquire na nila ako. Ngayon, ang ibig sabihin, papasok na ako sa onboard. Sa onboard, dito na yung mga installer ng Converge. Papasok na yun dito para ma-install na ako ng connectivity. So kapag na-install na ako, naandyan na yung retain, yung monthly subscription ko. Syempre, kunyari, ang monthly subscription ko ay 1.8. Okay? Nasa 300 Mbps yung aking ginawa. Okay? Ang aking kinuha. Now, kapag okay na ako dito, sabihin may monthly na pumapasok na income para sa kumpanya Converge. Now, kapag medyo nababagalan na ako at marami kami sa bahay at meron pa akong konting business na pumapasok dito, sabihin medyo mabagal ang aking connectivity. So, ang gagawin ko, i-upsell ko yan. Okay? Pag in-upsell ko yan, tataas ang aking connectivity. And syempre, habang in-upsell ko, yung revenue na makukuha din ng kumpanya ay tataas din. Okay? And also, nagkakaroon ang kumpanya kasi ng lifetime value kapag ginagawa ito. Okay? So, imagine mo ito, sa akin pa lamang, ito personal household. Pero kung gagawin mo ito sa business, sa maraming tao, di ba? Over time, ganito yung flow ng recurring revenue. Okay? Next slide. Investment quality. This is the infrastructure durability. So, why infrastructure asset command premium valuation over time and predictability, longevity, and defensibility? Number 1 is essential utility demand. Bakit? Bakit sobrang laki na nito? So, because yung broadband kasi, yung connectivity today is non-negotiable as electricity or water. Yung demand kasi nito ay talagang parang rubber din. regardless of economic cycle, providing downside protection during recession. Okay? So this is the advantage ng mga nasa telco stocks. Diba? Hindi rin ako makakapagbigay sa inyo ng information na ganito kung hindi ko ito ina-upload kapag wala akong connection sa internet. Diba? This is the important of connectivity. Broadband. Okay? Another is, eto, 25-year asset life. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Yung fiber optics kasi usually, yung lifespan yan, lifespan ginagamit yan sa sa foods. Life years ay kaya mag-exceed ng 25 years. Ibig sabihin, kapag naitayo mo na yan, hindi yan basta-basta every year masisira. Diba? Yung cost ay mababa. Okay? Once it's installed, they generate cash flow for decades with minimal maintenance compared to copper or wireless tower. This is the advantage of company. Another is high switching cost. So usually yung mga enterprise clients, critical yung connectivity sa kanila, yung operations sa ganito sobrang critical. Kapag palit nila, kung magpapalit sila ng provider, sobrang hirap. Okay? Yun nga, operations critical to na connectivity, diba? So, mayroong risk of downtime. May risk of downtime and operational disruption. Talaga mahirapan ang operations. At nakakapag-create naman ito ng power retention sa moat ng kumpanya. Another is network resilience. Okay, so redundant pathway architectures ensure reliability. This physical resilience translate into financial resilience naman through consistent service, uptime, and customer trust. These durability factors result in higher earnings quality and often justify stable valuation multiples, reducing volatility for long-term holders. This is the advantage of mga investor na kagaya natin na kayang i-hold yung investment natin sa kumpanya o sa mga telco stocks ng more than 5 years. Okay? Advantage natin ito. Itong pinapakita ko sa inyo. Now, another, yung kanilang ROIC and value creation. As the network matures, the focus shift from capital-heavy expansion to asset utilization and efficiency. Okay. Katulad nga sinabi natin kanina, yung kanilang return on invested capital nasa 17%. It signifies exceed cost of capital. You have to understand this. Okay? Every peso of growth creates shareholder value if ROIC is greater than cost of capital. So, as a capex intensity declines, if you are going to focus, yung kanilang capex during that time, ay nagdi-decline, yung kanilang free cash flow naman and also yung kanilang ROIC ay lumalago naman. So in short, while capital spending normalize, di ba? During yun nga kanina sa first two slides natin, yung kanilang 2020 to 2022, ito yung tinatawag natin na tanim. Nagtatanim muna sila. Okay? Yung 2023 to 2024, ito naman yung kanilang harvest time. Kaya makikita mo, sobrang laki na ng binagsak ng kanilang capex. Pero kung titignan mo, yung kanilang ROIC, ayan na simula nang bumagsak ito, tumataas naman ito. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina dito. Okay? So now, ano yung strategic transition nito? Ay may sabihin nito. Sa phase 1, yun nga, nagbibuild sila. High capex, footprint expansion. Okay? Phase 2, harvest, declining capex, utilization, and efficiency na. Ngayon, ginagawa naman nila ito sa outside Manila. No? Sa Visayas at Mindanao, ginagawa naman ito. So today, nagbibuild sila today. Nandito sa phase 1 ulit. Nagbibuild sila para makapture yung mga underprivileged na mahihina yung connectivity. And in the next coming 1, 2, or 4 years, makikita na naman natin nito yung harvest time naman. Okay? Ito yung cycle na hindi sinasabi ng karamihan. Hindi rin pinag-uusapan ng karamihan. Bakit? Kasi or hindi nila alam or talagang ayaw nilang sabihin talaga. Okay? Another, next slide. This is the infrastructure investment follow a predictable life cycle. Converge is transitioning into its most profitable phase. Okay? Number 1, 2020 to 2022, ito yung build out phase nila. Ano yan, talagang magulo. No? Construction phase talaga yan. 2023 to 2024, this is the present optimization. Capex normalize, free cash flow returns positive na, yun na nga nangyayari. Then, after that, dito na tayo papasok. In 2025 onwards, cash generation. Kaya nakikita mo naman na nagbigay na sila ng dividendo last year. Okay, nagbigay na sila ng dividendo. That's a signal na naandito na malapit na tayo pumunta sa kanilang pag-generate na ng cash. So, ibig sabihin kapag nandito na tayo, makikita mo na yung low incremental cost plus high recurring revenue equals to accelerating free cash flow. Yan, nagbibigay na ng dividendo and debt reduction. Okay? So this is the life cycle of how telecommunication works. Okay, now, next slide tayo. Decision process. This is the investment framework natin. Okay? So, a disciplined approach to allocating capital. Prioritizing quality first, valuation second, and risk management always. Okay? So you have to understand, katulad ng sinasabi natin, focus ka lagi sa position sizing. Gaano kalaki yung ilalagak mo doon sa kumpanya. Dapat alam mo yan. Balanced exposure based on conviction and volatility tolerance. Kung sobrang confidence ka sa kumpanya, mas malaki yung ilalagay mo. Pero kung hindi ka masyadong confidence, mas maliit syempre. At kung wala kang confidence, huwag ka na mag-invest. Ganun lang. Another is valuation discipline. Ibig sabihin, you have to buy below in a conservative intrinsic value with a margin of safety also, no? Para mas malaki yung buffer natin na kapag umakas yung share price, mas malaki yung kikitain natin. Another is business quality. Essential product, yung lagi mong titignan, recurring revenue like this, defensive moat, long asset life. So ito yung mga katangian na meron today ang Converge. Okay? So, the key metrics na kailangan mong i-monitor dito kapag willing ka mag-invest or investor ka na dito, subscriber growth. Primary revenue driver. This is the primary revenue driver ng kumpanya. Subscriber growth. Another, free cash flow versus the EBITDA. Ito yung tatawag natin na cash conversion efficiency. Another is capex intensity. Katulad nga sinabi natin kanina. Spending decline versus the revenue. ROIC trend. Value creation indicator. So, ito yung mga lagi mong titignan kapag ikaw ay nasa sektor ng teknolohiya or telecommunication. Itong company na ito, bawal ito sa mga mainipin na tao. Okay? You have to understand na pag nagka-capex sila, it takes time bago ma-receive. Katulad nga sila, nakita natin yung harvest time, ay yung pagtanim, di ba? It takes 3 years. And over the past 2 months, over the past 2 years natin, di ba, nagkaroon ng harvest time. Okay? It takes time bago makita natin yung resulta. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga katangian nun, di ba? Dapat meron tayong recurring revenue, scale effect, plus improving free cash flow equals value. Okay? So, another is transition mispricing. The market is currently pricing the stock like a low-growth utility. Optionality of digital platform and enterprise expansion. So, if price is less than intrinsic value plus growth, meron dyang opportunity, mispricing. Okay? Another is downside protection. Ibig sabihin yan, magkakaroon tayo ng downside protection kapag ang product na pinuproduce ng mga pinaglalagakan natin ay essential. Malaki yung demand. Another plus tangible asset is equals to safety. Okay? So, ang final verdict natin dito, for investors willing to look past short-term noise, Converge represent a rare combination of safety growth and widening competitive advantage. So that's why kung bakit malaki ang aking confidence dito na paglagakan ito. Okay? So this is the first time na sinare ko ito sa inyo, no? Na itong aking analysis. Okay, matagal ko na itong data na hawak. Ako yung mismo yung nag-create nito. Kasi this is my how I review every stocks dito sa ating PSEI. Okay? So even na bumagsak ito from 20 pesos to 7 pesos, I continue buy this company. Why? Mayroon akong conviction. And also, ginagamit ko ito. Okay, last slide. And this is the quote na nagawa natin sa pagre-review dito sa Converge. Markets reward consistency more than excitement. If the cash flow keep compounding and the moat deepen mas lumalalim, time does the heavy lifting. Hopefully, nagkaroon kayo ng malawak na idea about sa Converge. Hopefully, ay natutunan nyo kung paano maghanap, mag-value, paano hanapin yung mga important information sa mga sa mga telco stocks. Okay? So, wag na lang tayong basta-basta bibili ng ticker symbol lamang sa ating PSE. Kailangan natin alamin yung mga ganitong bagay. Okay? Para magkaroon tayo ng malawak na conviction. So, kung meron kayong mga tanong, mga stocks na gustong ipa-review sa akin, comment nyo lamang dito sa baba, and also gagawin natin ang paraan yan para ma-review yan. And also, kung gusto mong matuto kung paano mag-review ng mga ganitong investment research, puntahan mo lamang ang ating PSE Warrior website. Nandyan lamang sa comment section para magamit mo. Kasi meron akong more than 15 hours na structure video na laan ito para sa'yo. This is PSE Warrior na lagi nagpapaalala, invest wisely, and see you on the other side.